Cruciate ligament tear. Pretty tough word for a non-English speaking person. But yeah, here we are, and my dog Lizzy and I, we became specialists. Neither of us is a vet, but we talk to quite many lately. So we went from a happy, playful dog to this heap of miserable depression. I'm going to tell you all I learned about it, how it can be fixed, the most common reason, at least around here in Bulgaria, for younger dogs, and also why it's very common that it happens twice in older dogs. So it's the second Liberation Day today. Is it, Lizzy? And it's off for good. You're welcome. So the doctors in Sofia told me the most common thing that they are seeing is the guard and rescue dogs in the steep and rocky mountains that they have around there. So the dog runs over a field of rocks, gets stuck with one back leg in between two rocks, keeps on moving forward. That's when it happens. It's actually that common that all the parts they need for that, the clinic has in stock. And what can happen if your dog is already pretty old, like dog Lizzy here? He did nothing but one wrong step. He walked around the corner and put out a howl, and that was it. So he needed to have this operation done. All went well. Within about 2 weeks he started to use that leg again, and little by little he gained back his mobility. And then one morning, after 3 weeks, after he had his breakfast, I got distracted by a phone call. He walked out by himself to go to his toilet, but he did not come back. I went to look for him, and there he was, laying in front of the gate. I gave him the command to come back in, and he was limping very badly. Somehow I knew right away what had happened, but I couldn't be sure about it, and it was a terrible sight to see him trying to get up the stairs, more or less dragging himself up there. I was seeing in his eyes that he was miserable, and it was really a moment where I was thinking about putting him to sleep, because in my environment, a dog that can't walk is no good. Everywhere it's steep, there are steps and stairs, there are wild animals around, so a dog around here needs to be mobile. Even before his last checkup for the previous operation, I had to pack him back in the car and again drive to the clinic, and they went, "Oh, that's normal." So yeah, his other ligament teared, and the timing was just right that I could leave him there in the clinic, and the next day they did the operation, the second one, and it all started over again. Pain treatment, wearing the cone, not moving around, me having to carrying up the stairs. So what happened? He's an old dog, and if the ligament tears in an old dog, it's usually simple wear and tear. It simply ripped because it wasn't stable enough anymore. So we had the first operation. That meant he shifted all his weight and all his forces to the other leg, and that didn't help that ligament at all. It was only a matter of time till this one will rip as well. But even being here in Bulgaria, where everything is much cheaper, this operation has its price. All the pre-checks, operations, medications, controls afterwards, removing the stitches, and of course in my situation, each time driving down to Sofia, that's a 1.5 hour trip by car. The whole story costs me almost 3,500 euros, which is almost 4,000 US dollars. Yes, it's paid, but the money is missing badly. So if you see any chance to help, I would be really grateful if you use the PayPal link down in the description to send me a little something. Everything is much appreciated, so thanks a lot. There are different ways to treat such a ligament tear. In my case, they chose the best one that's around. It's called TPLO. What they are doing there is actually not touching the ligament at all. They don't do anything to the knee. What they do happens in the lower leg.
It's in this position, and when you have a cranio-cruciate ligament, cranio-cruciate ligament stabilizes the knee in this direction.
So this is this ripped, this part here.
No, no, no.
Nope.
It's inside cranio-cruciate
okay.
ligaments inside in the knee,
Okay.
and what is happening is start to move in this direction, and this is painful because after every step it's moving, and inside in the knee is very painful, and meniscus it's ruptured. We make a cut here.
You made this cut here.
Yeah. This is the
okay,
cut.
okay.
This is the plate, and this is the most important part.
You cut this here to
Yeah.
change the angle.
Yeah.
If the knee naturally stands like that, they make a cut in the leg bone to adjust the angle and how the knee will sit on that part again. So a simplified example is, this is the lower part of the knee, this is the upper part of the knee, that's the angle how a dog usually stands, this is the ligament, and if that snaps, yep, the knee goes. So they are fixing the lower part of the knee, that the upper part can just stand on it. So they have to cut down here, regulate that angle, and then screw it back on with a metal plate. So with the knee itself or the ligament, nothing happens. Everything that happens is down here. The big thing is they have to cut open the whole leg to get all the way down to the bone. Cut that apart, put it back together. So this is the major healing process that has to be done afterwards. This last operation is almost 2 months ago. He walks again. I've got a feeling even better than before, and the fur is slowly growing back little by little, except on his back where he had some old scars. I hope towards the winter he will cover that again. I hope you found this information useful. You probably have a limping dog, so I wish you both all the best. Again, I'm really thankful for any support that you can afford. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.